And now, to learn more on these projects, the Leadership and Decision-Making book and the privileged initiatives of the Annual Leadership Forum, we have with us live online is Dr. Majid bin Rashid Al-Meqbali. Dr. Majid, thank you first of all for being with us. Can you hear me?
Yes, of course, Mr. Abdul. Thank you so much, and I'm very pleased to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, Dr. Majid, first, can you tell us how did the idea of leadership and decision-making project originated at the Ministry of Health?
You know, the health sector is one of the sectors that are very complicated, and it dictates the need for young and potential leaders to be given the roles and responsibilities within the huge departments within the health sector. And at the Ministry of Health, this has been there all the time, and for the last, I would say, 10 years, we are lucky to have people who believed in the idea of developing leaders, Omani leaders, and to give them the tools and equip them with the skills and knowledge, so they take the responsibility whenever is needed. In addition to that, the WHO, the World Health Organization, has identified leadership as one of the most important 6 pillars of building any health, I would say, organization. And considering that leadership is one of them, the work has started, and we didn't want at the Ministry of Health to start as any other project with very, I would say, unscientific way of doing it. So we decided to conduct a research study, and that study was conducted by Omanis, and it used very, I would say, original tools that assisted us in identifying the competences of leadership within the culture of health in Oman. And as I heard in the report, and as it has been documented in the study and in the book, whatever we found in the study could be replicated in any health sector, in any sector in Oman, not necessarily in the health sector.
Very proud of these young Omanis to have accomplished what they have worked on this particular project. Now, what changes would make by reading this particular book in preparing healthcare leaders, in your opinion?
After we have completed the study, and we asked ourselves what's next. We didn't want that beautiful and good work to be put on the shelf, and that's why we decided to write chapters, and those chapters actually reflect the 36 competences we found in the study. And those 36 competences were put in a chapter format in which we answered so many questions that any healthcare leader within the Ministry of Health or within the health sector in Oman would need to train and develop, would find it useful. We are very confident that a lot of insights and understandings will be gained from reading the study, and also the 36 leadership competences which are stated in the study that were combined and presented in the 18 chapters would be very useful, because they have been also reviewed by local and international experts. And that expertise was really useful, because it told us also of what's happening in the world in this context. We are very optimistic that the Ministry of Health institutions, as well as all other sectors in Oman, would use this book, because it's local, number one, and number two, it's based on a scientific evidence, and number three, the language used with the exercises put in the book would facilitate training, would facilitate learning, and would facilitate a lot of insights and tools for anybody interested in developing leadership, either in himself or in the organization.
Wonderful. Now, one of the chapters describes succession planning. How important is that for the Ministry of Health at this particular time?
You know, this time is really important because, as everybody knows, the whole country is facing a lot of changes in which a lot of leaders have retired. And alhamdulillah, we are ready now because the work started 8 years ago. The succession planning chapter, it tells the institutions within the Ministry of Health of how they should be ready in developing leaders, in identifying leaders, what are the criteria to select, and once selected, what could be done for them to be ready. What kind of tools to be given, and what are the best practices within the world in developing and I would say equipping the leaders and taking the roles and being so ready to take the role with less, I would say, consequences.
Now, finally,
so the chapter would help everybody to be at the right place and do good for the institution and for himself.
Now, finally, what would you like to tell the young leaders what to do at this particular time for them?
Well, to be patient. I would say the journey is long, and what you need to do is to be patient because every day you learn something new. Don't feel that you know everything. You really need to listen to everybody and listen to your customers, listen to your patients, and try to understand things from the roots. Don't go superficial at all. Those people who worked before us and have done a lot of good things in the country, they are treasures, and they have to be maintained and retained. Whenever you need any help, you go and find them. Reading is very important. Don't wait. And by doing so, I'm sure success will be ahead.
Excellent. Of course, the 18 chapters of the book will no doubt empower those on the leadership in the health sector, as well as leaders in other various government and private sectors. Dr. Majid, once again, thank you for being with us. We wish to one and all the very best.